Hello, welcome back to Soldair Studio with Kel. I am going to do a brave thing today and use some very beautiful handmade brushes that I just made taking a class, online class called Maker's Brushes. I will link it below. It's well worth the $29. I did get in on it when it was $15, but the price just went up yesterday. But and one of the cool things about this class is that I felt like I watched the creators and then I made it my own. So and they came out really cool. This is just a feather with a piece of metal spring that I found. I actually collected both of these from my travels. And so I'll just kind of preview these a little bit. This is a stem of a azalea, and some of them I may use and some of them I may not, so some of them are pretty cool and decorative. This is an old spindle that I added some pine things from. This is some corn husk that I tried. This is a brush that I had and I just decorated it with some fabric to make it more personal. This is probably not going to be used. It's just a little crusher thing that I have in this jar. This is just a stem from some plant that I think will make cool marks. These one I really do want to try. These are red bud pods, and I actually think this is a red bud twig as well, and it was kind of hollow, and I just stuffed them down in there. This is just a twig that I kind of put together to see what kind of marks I could make with it, and added some metal copper piece and some fabric. Another one with feathers, and I didn't really want to use my real feathers that I found on the ground, so I used some craft feathers. But then I really like the look of this, so I may not use it. Who knows? We'll see. This was just, whoops, this is some from a corn tassel. Again, just simple. But you could make it as elaborate or as simple as you want, your decorative pieces and your pieces that hold it together. This was just a lovely stick that I had in my stash. And I just took a piece of wire and put a little old rusty nail on it for decoration. And I could see just using this for mark making as well. This was a fun one. It's just a stick, and I put some, I had some, these are strips that I got from like a recycle store that were probably on some kind of packaging, but they're cotton, and I thought they would make a neat marks. And then I just used wire, and then I wanted some bells on it. And then this is just a stick I found in the yard. Again, nature already. You can't really see it, but it's like got pink lichen. It's like a pink tone. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty, and I put it in my stash. This one, I just used some air dry clay and some sea glass that I had on hand, and then I painted the clay, and I just put a brush that I have. So you don't have to, use this is a synthetic brush, but I just thought it was fun to make a handle for it. All right, well, let's get started. For my paints today, I'm going to use some dyes that I have lying around. I have, this one's unknown. I think it might have some blackberry in it. And so we'll try that on the paper. Just gonna move these over here and then just choose ones as I feel. Oh, this one I forgot to show you. This one's a pebble that I just glued on the end of a stick, and then I put a metal pin in the top to hold it. And then these little things were just some things that were on the floor that I thought might add to the composition today, so I'm just leaving them there. Let's see, what's this unknown dye? And let's just take this one. So these won't be as distinct as per se a paint, if you wanted to use a paint. And I do have some paints nearby, so I might. let's put this one on here. I'm gonna move my brushes up here. Trying to make some dye over on the other side of me with some hickory nuts that I picked up from the ground. Okay, and I'm wanting something with a little bit more depth to it, so I'm going to see about this black walnut and see if we can get some color to come from the black walnut dye. Let's use this this one. These are pretty watered down, but they still lend themselves. And I add vinegar to my dyes so that they kind of get pickled, I guess, and then they last for a while. I like also that I can use this to kind of just spackle some things on there. Sprinkle, I mean, whatever that's called. Splatter, that was the word I was looking for. Now this is cool. And then, just like any brush, the little bristles are falling out, even though I glued them in. Do that some more. Okay, let's try, I have some watercolor paint that I have over here in a jar that I mixed together. It's brown and blue mixed together. It makes a fun kind of a gray color. And I'm just gonna dip my corn cob thing in there. And see it spreading. Yeah. When I put it in the wet spots, it kind of bleeds out. And I'm going to dip it on the other side. Dip this one down in the unknown again. Also, I can just do this, kind of spread out the colors that already are on the page. Okay, let's take, you could use India ink with this as well. I'm going to move my black walnut for a second. You could also sprinkle some coffee granules on there. See what that does. Just fun to play. Have some marigold dye from my marigolds, and I've had this for a little while. I'm just going to take this end of this one that I put on here. Now, normally I would probably put this in a another container, because I'm probably contaminating it. But I am getting ready to make some some new marigold dye, so I don't mind so much. Okay. That's kind of, again, I'm finding out that the brushes that I have made so far are good for splattering. There we go. This is a little thing they call a frog that you can put, you know, flowers in when you're arranging flowers, but I just occurred to me that they'd be cool. It'd be a cool brush holder. That one's too big. Very cool. All right, let's see here. I was just going to kind of push these down. Let's run the string through some of it. Oh, this was the black and blue watercolor, so that definitely made it a little bit more opaque than the dyes. So I'm just dipping this string in my watercolor mixture over here. This is very let's go back and zoom out a little. Okay. Now I'll just drop it in there. So that's one paper. Let's take that off. Some of it might have leaked through on the other one, and that's okay. Just set it over here. I have a drying rack over here. I'm outside in my garage, so the door's open, so that's why you're hearing all those sounds. Let's see what other mediums we could use to mix. This was a fun idea that I saw online, to use vanilla extract. I'm just going to actually dump some on the page and then use one of my brushes to move it around. And brushes are made, you know, like when you think about painting, they are made to move the medium around, but they also actually sometimes sop up the medium. So like if I put my little cloth one here, it should soak up some of it, right? And using vanilla is nice because it smells really pretty. And let's take this one and just dip it in our marigold dye. Yeah, I'm finding out that I really like just dropping the fluid onto the paper. I'm standing on a little stool so I can reach the table better. Okay. And if you want to, I wouldn't try to necessarily wash these out. You know, it won't hurt. It'll just add to the next iteration of your art making. Kind of like this unknown color. It's a real subtle kind of, almost like a taupe or something. I wanted to try, this one is that one, and I tried to make like 3 little prongs there. So let's see if we can get that to make some neat hatch marks. And working wet on wet is always fun because then you get this kind of, you know, dispersion of the pigment. And this paper right now I'm just playing, but it could become an art piece in and of itself. It could become something that I collage more stuff on top of. It could become bits of collage paper. So that's satisfying. And again, that's just a piece of stem from a hydrangea that I kind of broke down a little bit. All right, let's be brave and use a feather. Which one do I want to use? I don't want to use any of them because I don't like to get the feathers messed up. But all right, I'm going to use this one because this one has a lot of feathers on it. And again, you don't have to use your feathers, right? But I'm going to on these. I'll put some marigold on it. Again, it's very subtle. Let's move some of these out of the way. It's getting the black, so let's just go for it now. Now she's like, just go for it. Ooh, there you go. Again, sprinkle, sprinkle, spread. Ooh. See what courage does? It helps you find out things that you didn't even know you wanted to do. Okay, well, yay feather. Let's try this pebble again and get some of this ink and make some more distinct pebble marks. So I have all kinds of flavors and smell going on. I got vinegar and vanilla. That's an interesting combination that probably not too many people combine. I guess sweet and sour pickles have vinegar and sweetness in them. Or bread and butter, whatever those are called. It's not my favorite combo. I like one or the other. I don't really like to have them in the same. Oh, there went my little pebble. But guess what? I can just glue it back later. So now let's just use the end of this stick. Okay, well that's going to be fun to see how that goes. Again, I like to put a few layers on and then let it dry because I don't know, when I want to do it just yet. And then this is some cool vintagey kind of watercolor paper that someone gifted me, so let's play with that one. And one of my favorite dyes that I made is this deep purple hollyhock and red hibiscus. So let's just put that on there, get some fun reds going. And see, this is like, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing, the traditional way of putting your dye in a bowl or maybe putting it in a palette or whatever is making me realize that you don't always have to do it that way. I kind of like pouring my medium on the paper, and this is mixing pretty cool with that black paper that we had a minute ago. So let's take the grayish blue, whatever this is. Let's take our feather again. And it's mixing with the red to make kind of a cool purplish color. Okay. Yep. There's our trash can. Now I'm just taking some water from my brush water, and that's got some color left in it, and putting it on the page with this stick. Let's see, what else can I do? Let me move that. And there's There's quite a bit on there. I can actually use this brush to kind of sop some of it up so it doesn't move so much. And let it dry. And we'll do one more on this big piece of paper. And just dry brush that off. We'll rinse this out later. Okay, I'm going to move some things. Let's move that there. I have trying to do something a little bit more distinct and not colorful, but more vibrant. This is a purple tempera paint that I have. That came from a powder, which is really cool. It's very, very purple, but I wanted to use this stick and dip it in there. Again, if you're worried about contaminating your paints, don't stick it directly in the jars. Feel free to pour it out into a little tray or something. And everybody has different. I was watching another artist, and she was very slow and deliberate with her marks, where I tend to be like, you know, splash it on there. So trust your inner instinct of what you would want to do on a piece of paper. And there's lots of paper in the world, so you can always get more. If you don't like the end result, you can always add another layer. Put that in here. On this feather, let's use this feather. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna, I did cut the end off to kind of make it like a quill pen. So let's just use that and do some like pretend script. If you've never used a fountain pen before, you have to, or a dip pen, it's not like you can just, you have to keep dipping it. I always forget that until I'm like working, so it runs out and then I gotta come back and write more. And that's why they had a blotter to blot off the colors, or blot off the ink, because it sometimes would run. Yeah, I almost put the black and the purple. I'm not gonna do that. And this you can rinse off. It's gonna stain it, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. There's still a little bit of liquid down in there. And then if the tip gets not as sharp, you can always trim it again with a pair of scissors or a knife or something. Now I'm using the leftover water from another project, and it's kind of got a blue tone to it. I'm liking that. Just wipe it out and put it in my unknown mix again. I really do like the tone of this. It's almost like a really diluted coffee or something. I thought it was blackberry, but I don't know. Who knows what it is? Because it's unknown, right? Okay, one. Any more that we want to try out that we haven't? Let's try this one again. And it's interesting, like, you know, you wouldn't think that it would hold that much liquid, but it does. Okay, and then let's try this one more time. Whoops. Not be, you gotta be gentle with this one. Be gentle, Kyle. That's really cool. Some real nice fine lines. And the cool thing about making these brushes out of natural materials is you can go back in and get some more and make another one. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Put that back on the black walnut. I think I want to try this one more time. Let's do some more unknown. Just kind of add some color in here. It kind of is fun because it makes you think like whoever invented brushes, you know, maybe they experimented with different elements like this, figure out which ones hold the most fluid, what kind of marks they make. Nice. All right, well that's it, guys. Thanks for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed that demonstration, and I'll be back another time. Have a good day. Bye.